Okay, anxiety shows up like a blinking light on your dashboard. It's annoying. It's urgent. Sometimes it's blinding, and sometimes you can't think. Most people say breathe and distract yourself. Yes, take a deep breath, and I understand that it feels, panicky. But what I want to give you today is a different path. I want to meet anxiety with creativity. Don't soothe it into silence. Speak it. Shape it. Let's turn that energy into something that builds you. Okay, let's unlock your creative muscle. From problem to plan. That's what I will call it. From problem to plan. And it's going to happen in here. The Creative Life Journal. Okay. Have you ever experienced when you have a creative block and you can't figure out why, you can't think or come up with that great idea that you're trying to come up with? You know that something's not happening in your brain. Here's what happened. We are avoiding situations that are eating at us. They consume our mental bandwidth. That nagging relationship issue, that career frustration, that financial worry, they're creativity killers, y'all. They block our ability to think clearly, plan effectively, and move forward. We don't want that. No, you don't want that. You want to try to figure out a way to have peace of mind while you do deal with life's problems. And you want to think creativity so that you can identify the exact situation that's bothering you. This is what we're going to do in the journal. We're going to write it down. We're going to deal with the situation that's bothering us first. We're going to write it down and get it out. And we're going to come up with solutions. So, the situation that's bothering you, I like to say, this is for busy bees and procrastinators. We're so busy. That's why it's only a short space. Let's just get out the situation. Let's just go ahead and journal the situation that's bothering us. We don't have to put why yet. We just going to deal with naming the situation that's bothering us. Then we're going to deal with who am I? That's a self-revelation. Who am I basically helps you look in the mirror and ponder that pesky procrastination that is in our brain waves, unraveling negative thoughts, right? We're going to go on a quest for empowerment. So who am I? Basically, who are you today during the moment of carrying the situation that's bothering you? You get it? So you're going to strategically go through your journal with expressive writing by answering the questions so that you can identify what's really holding you back. I believe this is powerful. I believe it's going to work. This is my Creative Life Journal experiment. I would like to know what works for people. And if you can reflect on past moments when, and write about them, you're going to understand how that memory pushed you. How did it move you forward with a tainted spirit, or did it move you forward with a new lesson learned and a new outlook, an identity shift? This is powerful because when you unravel the mystery of that gut thing that's been holding you back, life changes. Opportunities present themselves. You'll find yourself in a whole new season of living that you never expected, just because the therapy is a game changer. Therapy helps. But guess what? This is therapeutic. We do exactly what therapists do here. We unravel the situation that's bothering you. We get through it with a plan. We come up with our ideas. And it's for busy bees and procrastinators. Look at the procrastinator. Ain't he cute? He's procrastinating and he don't know why. And here's the busy bee. Yeah, AI made her. And she's supposed to be me, y'all. Look. She don't look like me. But she cute. It works. She's just representing a busy bee. She's the assistant to B. Ellington, the guide that's going to take you through the Creative Life Journal. That's B. Ellington. So, you won't be alone during this. And of course, I'm here too. You will be able to get through the workbook. It even takes you through battle. Who's in your way? What's the fight? What is really the challenge that's holding us back? This Creative Life Journal experiment is a real game changer. I think it is going to help so many people. Each small action is going to lead to a creative life, a more creative life. If you already have a creative life, that's amazing and that's great. I have a creative life, but I'm a busy bee, which sometimes makes me procrastinate. So I tend to have to unclutter my mind by compartmentalizing my problems. When I compartmentalize the problems, I can think better and I can think clearer, because it's something powerful about writing. You get it out. It's just like talking to the therapist. That's powerful. You let it out. When we identify the situation that's bothering us, we're also going to follow up with what I know. So we have a situation that's bothering us, but what I know is don't talk about it. What I know is pray about it. And that's what we want to do. That's first and foremost, because prayer is power in prayer. So, but we're going to write down what I know. What I know to do when a situation is bothering me is pray about it. So these few lines I would fill in, pray about it, and I might even write what my prayer is. Now, here comes the tricky thing. Here comes what I know doesn't work. Sometimes we have used these same morals and principles, and we've been praying and praying, and we're like, Lord, did you hear me? It ain't happened yet. I done told you about this fool, and you still got me in this situation. So over here in the journal where it says what I know doesn't work, it encourages you to reflect on past failures and understand why certain attempts did not succeed. So it's not just blaming it didn't get fixed, your problem didn't get solved. This is a process to promote self-discovery, revealing hidden beliefs and influences that affect your self-perception. So, gaining this self-awareness helps you identify self-sabotaging and thoughts and habits. So, if you develop strategies to overcome these obstacles, paving the way for significant personal growth, you have chosen a creative tool to overcome adversity. And you only can do it if you think about it. If these thoughts never come to mind, you're just going to be journaling on empty pages in a journal book about things that you already know that is going right or wrong, but you're not actually unraveling the mystery and how to solve the problem, how to get through and unleash those mind bugs in your head that won't let you, that creates limiting beliefs that won't let you have peace. So then we deal with what you know a lot, because we know we think we have the answer to every situation. So listen, write down your truth, what you know, right? Then within that, we discover a self-revelation. See that? Self-revelation. This is the part where I want you to be honest with your response. I want it to serve as a solid foundation for your journey, exploration, and growth. I want you to reflect and answer truthfully so you can navigate the complexities of life and nurture your creativity. So there is no, not really, brushing across what you want to say but not saying it. We want to really embrace the process, enjoy the journey towards a more fulfilling creative life. So honesty is the key in this workbook. Honesty is going to help us unravel the mystery of what's really holding us back. So we also going to discover what's called my true desire in this situation. Listen, my true desire in this situation. What do you want to happen? What do you need to be okay? What do you want to feel in this situation? What do you want to think? What is your desired output? Is it a new you or a new somebody else around you? But at least we're going to discover it. So there's 3 steps to consider. We have The first step is to identify our desire and reflect on how that current situation is preventing us from achieving our goals. We're going to consider any ideas or thoughts that represent this notion. See, it's already an exclusive journal, guys. What journal is asking you that? Creative Life Journal, right? What journal is asking you to the second step to assess how the current situation affects our long-term goals? Who would have thought of that, right? Me, I thought of it. No, this is how you write a movie. This is how I develop characters when writing a screenplay. Because you only have 2 hours for a change in this hero's journey. So 90 minutes to 120, whatever. You only have that, right? So we got to go through life and get our lessons and self-revelations quick in a script. Why not apply it to our life and see how much growth and creativity we can discover and unravel? Yes. So the third step is you're going to identify the obstacles that hinder resources and support your goals. My assistant Aida helped me create this. Shouts out to you, Aida. Amazing job. She is just a wonderful person, and she just had fun creating. She had fun working with B. Ellington, making her the Creative Life Guide. She's a busy bee. And we also have Bud the procrastinator. Bud, I didn't really put him throughout the book procrastinating, but in part 2 he will be, because B. Ellington wants to keep us focused on change, but so many people can relate to Bud. I'll show you Bud. Bud, I mean, he is fun. He's a good person. He just procrastinates, guys. And, you know, it's times where I'm both of them. I'm B. Ellington and Bud the procrastinator. You know why? Can't help it. Sometimes I'm busy procrastinating. But in this journal, I think that we are going to learn how to push through procrastinating moments. So here go Bud. Isn't he cute? Look at Bud. He used to be a bee. Aida had him as a bee, but now he's a little person. And there go B. Ellington. Wait, this isn't B. Ellington. This is B's assistant. She's supposed to be me, remember? We almost look alike. AI, thank you for trying. I guess it's close, but she's lighter than me. But she is beautiful. I'll take it. I mean, hey, she's going to help y'all. But he's so busy procrastinating, guys. We got to help him. So on this page, I basically have Bud speaking first. He says, start? You mean like all the projects floating around in my head? That's what he's thinking. Yeah. But he has a truthful moment. And look, B is talking to him. Bud is saying, you can do it later. It's not that urgent. And before you know it, later becomes never. So then here comes B's assistant. Today is a new day and you will believe in yourself. So we can start anew. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I like storytelling. So then we meet B. Ellington here. And I like storytelling through self-help, so it's just not feeling like medical homework, medical assignment, mental assignment. It's all, listen, I made creativity all through the workbook. So it breaks up that feeling of really dealing with self-help in a way that sometimes we don't want to deal with self-help like that. Sometimes we just like, look, I'll do that later. But this is exhilarating, guys, because listen, you're going to explore self-discovery without feeling burdened by doing it. It's going to be, B helps use symbolism, and she tells, it's storytelling through introspection. And I think it's worth every second. So it's a journal experiment. You're gonna tell me if this helps and if it works for you. And I'll create part 2 better, because you can always make things better. But B. Ellington, She's going to have fun as your creative life guide. And here's the cover. And this is a notebook. I like it in a notebook bound way because you can work in it better as a workbook. But on Amazon, it may be printed just as a book, and it's not as flexible. So my favorite way is the spiral. You let me know in the comments what you prefer, and I can make that happen. So it's been great trying to compose such a thing. It's been a minute. I've been working on it for a minute. You know, it takes a little bit of time to make greatness. So I've been working on my film for 4 years. Here we come. 2026 is the year finally. And I've been working on this journal for maybe 2 years. Only because it's organic. I had to use it and go through the journey instead of just putting something together that I think will. Of course, the test, you guys will let me know how it works. I'm going to have a workshop where I go through the entire journal with you. So each exercise, I will be there on a video or live with you to help you unclog and unclutter your mind. Even at times, you see where it says, in striving to get where I want in this situation, what do I need? That is a page that we're going to explore together. Because a lot of times, we don't really take self times. I like to call them me time appointments. We need me time appointments where we can deal with self, just self. And if we don't unclutter our mind and get through some of these things and write it down, listen, write it down. It's powerful in scripting. What did I say? It's power in scripting. And trust me, you will enjoy the Creative Life Journal experiment because you're going to feel a lot less heavy mentally. A load is going to come off. You're going to have chosen ideas for micro projects that you want to come up with, projects that you want to develop and create. It really taps into who you are. I'm going to journal. I'm going to do the experiment with you, even though I've done it and I kind of do it on a regular. There are chapters that you may need help along with, like battle. Battle helps you strategically plot and plan how you're going to deal with your opponents. Who is in my way? Sometimes someone is in your way and they're not necessarily an opponent or an enemy. They're just in your way. So we're going to be honest with who is in my way, and we're going to be strategic about how we handle them. When you have mustered through your thoughts like this and plot and plan, you will be surprised at how free you feel, how you can get through these tough moments in life without feeling overwhelmed and boggled down with people and suckers of the soul. I have a book called Suckers of the Soul. All these toxic people around you, you're like, oh my God, they just drain you. Yes, I like to tell stories in my self-help books. Not that I'm not a therapist. I'm just a person. I'm just a hairstylist turned screenwriter, turned director, turned film producer, indie film producer. Still hairstyling, still screenwriting, still indie film producing. Directing, I pushed that more so over to my son. But it's been great, a great ride. But to be that creative and have so many lanes and be a multi-passion, creative busy bee, I have had to use expressive writing in order to do this. Not only writing expressive writing, I've had to have physical notebooks from Staples where I have these tabs and I load in, I just dump. Sometimes I label the tabs what the situation is, and then I start with reverse engineering by what is the problem? where did I want to end up? Where do I want to end up with solving this problem? And then I'll write the actions so I can reverse engineer the situation, so I can feel hope and get me to the resolution. This is so powerful. We live through life with reactive personality, but this will help you. It'll change you in a way where your identity shifts into a more calm, reserved being. You're still gonna be human though. You're not gonna be Ellington. She's AI. You still gonna be human. We still gonna feel human emotions. We're gonna express ourselves, but you won't be as reactive as you have been in the past. You're gonna be more reserved. You're gonna feel like there's a go-to to deal with this situation. I have something right here at home that nobody even knows. It's a journal of that effect. It's not secretive looking. It's just a workbook. But I can talk about what I can't talk about in real life. I can talk about this in this journal. I can do this. I can get through this problem, even though I don't have the solution, even though I don't have the money for a therapist, even though I'm too embarrassed to talk about it, even though I don't want nobody to know what I'm actually dealing with right now. I have a place to go through that's going to question me as a therapist would. And there are a lot of self-help books out there, guys. There are. But have you seen any as fun as this with B. Ellington as your guide? Listen, when I finished the book, The Creative Life Guide for the Busy Bee and the Procrastinators, you gonna love it too, because you know why? B. Ellington was created from real people, two people that I know, but mainly from my cousin. Her last name is Ellington and her aunt name is B, and it's so cute, their relationship. But I created her to go through the whole creative life guide experiment for a reason. I connect with B. Ellington. You're going to connect with B. Ellington too. You watch. Now, in the workbook, B isn't as personal, but in the book that I wrote, I make B. Ellington have emotions. And so her as the guide, she still feels human, even though she's guiding you through decision making and dealing with your emotions, handling trouble in your path, dealing with trials and triumphs. Now, B, myself, all of us, even Bud, the procrastinator, we still believe in prayer first and foremost, and gratitude. We are never going to stray from that. So keep your gratitude journals. Keep your empty page journals so you can unclutter your mind that way too, with just writing whatever you want to write. Get it out. But let me tell you, the Creative Life Journal, listen, it's going to get there. It's going to get you in detail. Even here, it says, identify the moment you changed course or held steady. It's talking about what was before. Who was there? Who was there? What you did and what almost broke you. You ever seen a journal that's going to get that deep and ask you? Answer truthfully. Because when you answer truthfully, you can really unclutter your mind and your spirit. Narrate the most intense moment of your effort as a short scene. So here, you're practicing screenwriting. You're going to narrate it a little bit like a short scene in a movie. Now, you tell me what journal going to uncover the screenwriter in you, and you're the hero in your own story. You're the hero in your own journey. So I want to know. I want you guys to join me in the Unstuck Revolution. I'm going to do a live. I'm going to do a workshop and even a course. The course will be the most detailed in this. But right now, we're going to deal with how to use the workbook effectively so that we can get busy with unraveling the mystery of what's really holding us back. We're going to break through those creative blocks, and we're going to start a micro project, because when you start a micro project, exercising your creative muscle is a game changer. It's giving you confidence to understand the new you. It's also giving you an identity shift. We need those. You'll be surprised at how much we have to have an identity shift along the way in life. A lot. We have to have an identity shift, like, oh my God, almost every day. Just think about how many things you have to be. Sometimes I feel like I'm a truck driver in LA dealing with traffic. I do. I feel like I got to focus right now only on traffic, and my mind is not there because it's on where I'm going. But sometimes you got to come pull it on back and commit to the moment you're in and deal with it. And guess what? Come up with a plan. So I'm telling you, in this journal, you guys are going to be like, what? You're going to be like, this is really helping me. And obstacles and opponents. It's really an amazing thing. I think I'm going to love the experience. Thank you, Aida, for helping deliver such a wonderful tool to my creative family and embarking on this journey with me to make something that'll help people have a go-to. When you can't afford therapy, you can't talk to your best friend, you can't tell nobody what you're going through because it's embarrassing or whatever it is. This is going to unclutter our minds, help us be creative, and help us into that identity shift so we can create, so we can write that novel. We want to be our best selves. And sometimes every day we're dealing with so much baggage that we're not really releasing that baggage on a daily. I can tell you all day long, just go journal. But when you open the book of empty pages, do you really know what to write about that's going to actually heal your soul? Do you really know what to think? You don't know what to think, but I'm going to tell you here. That's why I deal with self-revelation. Self-revelation. I'm going to tell you what to think. So now we got a journal that is really tapping into our healing, our spirit, and our soul. Okay. You have to understand the power of personal growth and self-improvement comes from truth. We may not be able to be truthful in a moment of walking by down the street when someone say, how's your day going? You don't want to tell the truth sometimes. You don't want to say it's messed up today, but I'm grateful to be alive. But, well, some people do say that, but I just want you to understand that I really needed something like this after I lost my mom, because I never felt like I could not make simple decisions until then. After losing my mother, I didn't even realize how much she helped me focus and stay clear-headed. She was my go-to in every problem, and she was my help me make decisions. I was like, I'm pretty much handicapped after I lost her. I didn't know how to think. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know pretty much anything, I'll say. So one day I ran to Staples or Office Depot, and I got this green notebook, and it had a bunch of tabs, college rule notebook. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to write what I think is supposed to be in a notebook. I'm going to label these darn tabs, and I'm going to deal with problems that bother me, because not addressing them is unhealthy. I don't care what thing. I wrote everything in this notebook. I had a section for how am I going to lose the weight that I'm picking up from eating my emotions. Then I had another section about eating my emotions. Then I had another section about all the things that was unpaid, whether it was my DMV, my tags, my beauty license, my income tax. Everything was behind in life because I didn't want to deal with it. And not that I didn't want to deal with it intentionally, knowing it never crossed my mind. I started living life like numb, not realizing that I was living life numb. I said I gotta unclutter my mind. So I went and got a notebook. So that's why I think I like the spiral notebook effect of this as well. I don't have tabs, but maybe in the second volume, I will have tabs for each area of your life That's a dream of mine too. But before I have volume 2, I wanted to get us used to expressive writing. Writing what's necessary to heal instead of just writing surface. Sometimes we write surface because it just feels fine because we really don't want to think about what hurts. But if we answer the question, trust me, I believe we will have a breakthrough. I really do. I even have, in striving where I want, in striving to get to where I want in this situation, what do I need? I already told y'all that. I'm just going through the book here. But I will have a episode where I break down each chapter. I will have a more detailed work through. I'm just really introducing this to you right now and letting you know that I worked on it. So maybe you guys will give it a chance and give it a try and see how it works for you and let me know. I'll be developing the second one to get my tabs in there, because that's a whole different journaling style where you have the sections, because it's going to take a while. Sometimes every problem you fix don't mean it's going to be fixed tomorrow because we journal. We have time. We're going to have time that we're going to take to heal our wounds sometimes. Now, some we're healed. Once we discover the mystery, we're like, oh, I get it. Okay. Forgiveness happens. We let go and we let God. And that's a breakthrough. Now, there are going to be boundaries that we're going to have to set, and we're going to be forced to set them because guess what? Here's a section. One boundary you can set immediately. Now, this is important because sometimes we're overwhelmed and we thinking, oh, I got to come up with so many boundaries. I got to come up with a lot. No, this is just going to ask you one boundary can you set immediately. Here we ask what this obstacle wants from me. So you see how we know what problems are in our way? You see how we know what needs to be solved? Sometimes we don't ask ourselves, what does the obstacle want from me? What does the problem want from you? What is this thing that the enemy put in your life goal? Let's figure that out. Let's figure out why this is happening. What did I do to deserve this situation? Most of the time, it's happening for you, not to you, but it feels like to you. But this is going to help with that a lot. And trust me, you guys are going to be like, you know what? My me time appointments is now on my agenda, because you have to set me time appointments in order to deal with the Creative Life Journal. You need your you time, whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes, whether it's 15 minutes a day. Decide how many me time appointments do you want to set for the week or the month or the year. But you set a me time appointment where you go and you journal. And you're going to journal in a way that works and heals your soul. That is with expressive writing. We're going to write our truth. We're going to write what we don't say to people. We're going to write what we're afraid to talk about. We're going to write about the situation that's bothering us. Okay? So until the next video, you create daily something, even if it's an idea, even if it's a thought, a positive thought towards what you're going to write about when you get your Creative Life Journal workbook. There you have it. That's good. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you, Creative Family, for joining this channel. Subscribe and like. Let me know in the comments how you feel about a new journal situation in life. We're going to try it. You need to try something new. I learned how to do these exercises in my screenwriting classes, so I apply them to life. So let me describe one I drew last week. A small moth with boxing gloves. It kept fluttering at the lamp of my thoughts. It was hitting me with tiny stings of doubt. When I asked it why it was there, it said, I don't want you to fall. Suddenly, it was less villain and more concerned bodyguard. And I could tell it, thanks. Come sit on the shelf instead of letting it distract me. I know that's weird, but if you draw it and you visualize it talking to you, your subconscious can see the picture. That's the first tool. So let's build on that. See you in the next video.